Thank you, Imam. Alhamdulillah. This is a subject that that I personally I don't have the spirit and the light of just Allah's mercy on us, but we all love and respect the Muslim Journal as being our main media and our focus, and I still do. When the editor, Sister Aisha, resigned from the board of the ministry of Imam Deen Mohammed, we were saddened. I might post a letter I sent. I let her know how sad we were about her loss, and I pleaded with her to continue her services and many of the things and the advice. She's still there available to help us. But the audience that this small group and the attention, I just think it's not worthy of the Muslim Journal. And these small petty issues that they come from a source that goes back in our history, and that's why it's Allah's will that we had Imam Fred Bashir here to speak on the subject of Imam Deen Mohammed, because he is the source of our community. But I think he spoke more when he brought home the condition of us as a people and African American people, how we view ourselves and how we deal with our circumstances. And we all know this, so it's my desire not to see any conflict or any more fires lit because of things that we may hear or see written in the Muslim Journal that we may not like or agree with, and that may anger us. But everybody has a different disposition and personality. And I once heard my father, he was a good judge of character. He knows people. He said, sometimes when you get really, really angry, you say, this is the last straw. They done lied on me for the last time. He said that sometimes it's good to just shout. Just run outside and, just scream. And get some of that energy and some of that stress off. Because these people, some of them are so wound up and stressed. And they've been trying hard. This small group, hard to find out, which cheek do I have to slap all this on to get upset? I'm too busy basking in Allah's mercy and blessings and joy. And if I lost both arms and legs and lost everything, I would still be so happy and so blessed and so grateful for Allah's mercy that it's just not, they need to give that up. Give that up if that's what they're really after. If they're trying to hurt me and get me mad, where I'm going to stoop to that level and defend a bunch of lies and hypocrisy. But jokes aside, I had a bunch of jokes. It's a coping mechanism that I have. I got a lot of humor, and I think y'all saw that movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost. It was old when we were kids. My son probably don't know. He didn't even blink an eye. But anyway, it was a movie about these people fortune hunting for the covenant of the Ark or something. Well, that's how I see the circumstances. Some of these big critics of the Mosque and of myself, I remember one in particular. I think the earliest time they came to the burial site, we hadn't even lowered my father into the ground. And they approached me with a serious conversation about what's going to happen to his intellectual property and the WDM publication. They looked me in the eye and told me that you're going to need some help. You can't handle that. And I'm already 20 years into ownership and running this business for the past 20 years. So I said, alhamdulillah, my focus went to my young son here. He probably remembers. And it broke my heart to see him leaning over, tears falling into the ground with a casket. So I said, this is where I need to be. So I went and stood next to my son. And how old was he? 5, 6 years ago. How old were you?
Maybe 12.
12. He said, Papa can't die. Papa's invincible. I said invincible. See, we live in a world of language and words. Imam Mohammed said, words make people. You see, so all of that's impressed upon my son, and he had the good sense to identify with Imam Muhammad being something special.
Right.
You know, the super invincible. That's what they talk about, the superheroes, Batman and Robin, and all, Superman and all. So that was how the eyes he saw his grandfather with. But this group, they've been trying to pull me out, but they're looking for something that don't exist. I believe my jinn is a Muslim. Because whenever he starts to stir, and he's just so quiet, it's almost as if he ain't there. I don't entertain him, and he comes back with love. The jinn says, well, I think this is the way. If I got a jinn, he must be one of my best friends, because he keeps the peace. He helps me keep the peace. So they're looking for something. They're looking for something. And like that movie in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, they see a great reward or a gift, a power, something from heaven that they can capture. Power.
They think it's power.
They think it's power. They said, if I had the intellectual property or the control, or if I had any, I just want what Wallace get, whatever he get. So we get him out of the way, then I can get it, and we can sit down and feast. We can eat, we can bleed it and drink the blood, and eat the flesh, and we're going to be powerful.
Yes, sir.
So that's what they're doing. And that's what the hopes are for. So I had another one came to my house in the disguise, their leader, of wanting to express to me how, the one that wrote the article in the paper, he signed. And by the way, many of the imams that sign up for this, I pray that they look at the seriousness and that the attention is on us as a community. Look at the seriousness of being a part of a council that doesn't have the insight or the judgment to keep private matters private.
That's what I told him. Right.
Alhamdulillah, I appreciate you. They should take a second look, because I don't believe, because I read the article in the Muslim Journal. It was eloquent, it was well put together, and it was it conveyed the message in an intelligent manner, but it couldn't have been further from the truth. And Imam Muhammad, I even heard, I got a call the other day that Imam Muhammad closed the mosque cares, and the mosque cares, all of these things, they're reacting to the positive things that we're doing. And I haven't heard about any positive things coming from them. So I'm waiting to hear from this council. And I don't think that that the truth is being told about them. Like that movie. I said I was going to, I tried to keep it in the joking nature, but it took me, my mind into just seriousness. So the Raiders of the Lost Ark, they were trying to get that power. And they viewed Imam Muhammad's, since his passing, I've been in courts. They have a probate court. And that's what their lawyers. They have lawyers. I'm not going to name people. They have lawyers, and this other group has lawyers. And these are all people that were close around Imam Muhammad. And the thing that is just so shocking and flabbergasted, I just can't believe that they would do. We remember, I'm looking at a sister that went to court with Imam Muhammad, and there's many people in here I know, but I just remember her because she was the best friend of my mother during the 70s. When Imam Muhammad came into the leadership, and the struggle and the pain and the suffering he went, seeing the leadership of his father turn on him, and seeing his close brothers and sisters and family members turn on him, and him pouring his heart out to Allah, trying to handle the great responsibility that I couldn't even come close to. I know Imam Muhammad liberated me when he told me as a child. He said, "Son, I wouldn't wish this burden on nobody." I didn't tell him what my heart immediately said. My heart immediately said, "No way will I put it on me," because it was killing me to see the pain he was suffering. You know, that didn't happen at the masjid on Friday, on Tuesday nights, on Sunday nights. That happened 24/7. So what y'all heard and went home with, y'all went to sleep and talked about it, and then woke up the next day and it was back to business as usual. That went on in our house. In our home, we lived it. We felt Imam Muhammad's the stress and the pressure and the anxiety and the disappointment and the loss. He's a human being. No matter how much Allah guides you, still a human being. So they want to, and to know that there's a people out there on this earth that are witnesses to the suffering that their leader did, there's no way I can believe that they it doesn't make sense that they could even have the words come out their mouth to say that they represent Imam Deen Mohammed and would stoop to such a level. But I'm gonna finish this story. Most of my children don't listen to me. I'm too long-winded. They're looking at the intellectual property. This is what they want that they're after in court. They feel they should have some ownership or some control. Another one of the leaders, he's front and center, and I think this Muslim journal. I read the article. I'm gonna review it one more time. He called me and said, "Do you know that you were supposed to give some of Imam's intellectual property or some of Imam's speeches to us?" I gave him a piece of my mind. I can't share you exactly, but he lit a fire and it stopped for about a week. Now he can tell you. His wife probably can tell you. His wife probably won't punch him. She can hit me if she wants to. Because he lit a fire that I don't think Imam Elam, he helped me put it out. It took what, about a couple of months, maybe a year. Oh yeah. I said, the nerve, the gall of you to call me, and I'm mourning the death of the loss of my father, to talk about what he left. He didn't have, if he was a billionaire and he left all of us with great wealth, all of his children and his wives, his ex-wives, he was not a polygamist. I heard that somebody said on the radio that he was a polygamist. Imam Muhammad was never a polygamist. That's right. Never. So you are a liar. And I ain't going to start on the lies. That's just one lie. If he had left us all wealthy, I may not have taken it so personal. But here's a man that gave everything to you. Everything. And if he had more to give, he would have gave that to you. And you so ungrateful. You so ungrateful that you come in there, well, hell, I know he left his son with something worth, we can split and share. Let's go to Wallace and tell him he got to give up that.
They were scheming before he passed.
They were scheming. Oh.
I heard them. They came in.
No. No, you just one witness. I've had Imam after Imam after Imam. And I don't know if we need to take this to some investigation agency or something. Because you've heard things that I heard. I had somebody come to me 2 weeks before my father passed.
They were talking to me like I'm lost.
2 weeks before my father passed, I heard a plot on him. But Allah knows best. And I don't like to accuse anybody of anything and speak out of ignorance. That's why I've been quiet. But it looks like the dictators of the gangsters, the days of the gangsters, where they see a leader fall, or they encourage the fall or the death of the leader, or they cause the death of the leader, and then the next week you see them standing on the corner or in their prostitution house. That's where these people need to be. Or they need to be in jail, that type of mindset. They need to be locked up. Because that's a criminal mindset. But I pray that Allah change their hearts. That's my position. But when I listen to what they're saying and compare it to the world that I see, that's the world of crime and criminals. That you put yourself in the place of the leader after he passes, and you inherit all that he had. Some of them gangster movies, they run around with their wives, and I ain't even going to go into that. Because we've seen this all happen before. But somehow they're supposed to inherit Imam Deen Mohammed, and we still have the door open. We still have the door open for anybody that wants to help us in the work that we do. But what's happened with this small group that lashes out and that slanders and insults us on the internet, and that we overlook for so long, if I made any appeal to them, it would be for them to mature themselves for the sake of unity, the African American people. Imam Muhammad said, even if we have to get into the room and go to blows, come out with bloody nose, I ain't gonna do it. Because they showed me that they don't deserve any more of my energy. But I love the Muslim Journal and I respect it, and this will probably be the last time I'll speak out against an article that I see in the Muslim Journal, because they're in a difficult position also. I just hope they don't become a tabloid. And I would hope that they would raise their,